Hey everyone, I'm Christina Maggio with FFL Solidity out of Boston, Massachusetts, and I am here with two very special guests today, two of my favorite people in Family First Life, Miss Heather Colletti Robeson and Landon Turley. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Super excited to be in the Apple Valley office today. This is actually my first time. I believe it's the first time for both of you too.
It's my first time.
It's my first time as well.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy that we're all enjoying it here together today. And I guess before we hop into this, let's start with what you were doing prior to working with Family First Life. Now, Heather, what were you doing prior to working with FFL?
Immediately prior, I was actually door dashing and Uber Eats. But just before that, I was a teacher online. I taught English to Chinese students in China for 3.5 years.
Okay. And what made you decide to get your insurance license?
I had a friend who was an agent with FFL, or I have a friend, and she was doing very well. And I had asked her a couple times about it, but I wasn't in the right position to do it at the time. Mm-hmm. But when it came to me door dashing and Uber eating, I said, I've got to get something more secure. And so I actually told my kids, they're 13 years old, I told them I had to stop Ubering and door dashing for 1 week. Just give me 1 week to study for the exam. I studied from Saturday until Friday, took my exam, passed it, and have never looked back. We did, just for fun, Ubered one time in El Paso when we moved, but it's too much time to worry about stuff like that when I could be out protecting people.
I love that.
Awesome.
I love that. And you touched on something there. So you moved from where to El Paso? You moved to El Paso
We moved
recently.
2,400 miles
Okay.
in December from Connecticut to El Paso, Texas. So yeah, we've been very busy throughout this whole thing. Yeah.
And I love that. And you just took Family First Life with you with that move.
Absolutely. And Telesales was the only way I could have done it.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. Love it. And what about you, Landon? What were you doing prior to working with FFL?
So prior to FFL, I was with the practice company.
Mm-hmm.
I got my license in 2017. And at the practice company, we did the same thing. We had leads and we were able to help protect families. But when I got into the industry originally, it was more just to produce income. It wasn't really about protecting families and really putting families first. And so something that I really appreciated about Family First Life is when I came over here, I saw that it was really about putting families first, really providing value for families, and it wasn't just about the sale. It wasn't about just the commission. So that was, about 9 months ago now that I got with Family First Life, and it's been life-changing ever since.
I love that. I love that. I was with the practice company prior to coming with FFL too, so I've been there for sure. And how long have you been with FFL now, Heather?
I started in November, but I had absolutely no experience with life insurance except for having my own policies prior to that. None.
Okay.
So no practice companies for me.
And
I came to the best first.
Right, absolutely. And that's, it's funny because it's like sometimes I'll speak with agents and they'll be complaining about, the leads or that they got no-showed or whatever it may be. And sometimes I just want to kidnap them and take them to my practice company and be like, hey, just stay here for a week. And I promise you're going to just build such an appreciation for what we have here at Family First Life. So it's a good and bad thing because you never had to experience those traumatic events that happen at practice companies.
I'm lucky.
But sometimes it's the appreciation level isn't necessarily there because they don't know, agents don't know necessarily how bad it can actually get at these other companies. But I do definitely think your appreciation level is there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't have time for any of that.
Yeah. I wasn't coming at you. I'm just speaking generally here. But you brought up a good point. You said that if I wasn't doing telesales, I wouldn't have been able to, make that transition when I moved to El Paso. So you had no prior insurance experience.
None.
And you came in and you've just been knocking the door now with telesales.
Yep.
Right? And what made you decide to do telesales, and how has that allowed you to maintain your lifestyle and ultimately build your business the way that you want to build it?
Well, I've always worked for myself. There were about 3 years where I worked in the public school system. It was not a favorable thing for me. I took my kids out of the public school system and I homeschooled them. So what made me decide to continue that was I need to be with my kids, at least while they still want to be with me, right? When they're 16, 17, 18, they might not want to be with me anymore. But at this time, I needed to be with them. And the flexibility of this company and working for yourself and doing telesales is incredible for our needs. When I started in November to now, our life has flip-flopped all over the place, between moving 2,400 miles to getting married, to renovating a house, to a major death in our family. And if it weren't for telesales, I would have failed. A lot of times you hear on the podcasts and such that, you know, it's hard, you know, to come out of the gate with telesales, but I didn't have a choice. Like I couldn't find time to go to people's houses and do all that. And I've also been working online for years, so that's what I know. So for me, it was a necessity and a welcome one. This company has been so significant. I mean, to the point where my children, my 13-year-olds, are here with me working. Yeah. Like I work with my kids. So it's a great opportunity.
I love that.
Beyond great, actually. That's not even a good word. Whatever the word is, beyond great.
Amazing. Yeah. Just like you.
Outstanding.
Outstanding.
It's incredible.
I love that. I love that. And I think that you're so disciplined, and that's one of the reasons why you were able to come in and be successful with telesales initially. Like, you have that set schedule. You know, if you say you're going to do something, like, you're getting it done. And I love that you brought your kids into this, because it's like you let them know too, so you have to do it. Yeah. You have them looking at you. And what do you look like if you don't do something that you said you were going to do to your children, right? Right. And I think that's such a vital piece of why you're so successful with FFL as well, because everyone's on board. Yep. Everyone understands the opportunity. Everyone's rooting for mom. Like, they know mom can do this. Like, I don't think doubt ever crossed your mind, actually. Even when I first started.
No, I don't have a choice. There's doubt. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I can't.
Right.
I mean, even my husband, he's home right now taking care of the other part that you guys don't see. Because if I didn't have him supporting me, then the house would falter. The pets. I have a bird. She'd have no food. Right? Like, so you have to have that support. Or you wouldn't be able to do it.
I love that. I love that. And I think that's no matter who you have in your life, whether it's a significant other, family that you're taking care of, children, whoever it may be, they need to understand the opportunity and understand the end goal, and just all be on board with this opportunity.
In the end, he might just want a few more motorcycle parts. I'm not sure. But if I can get him that and he's supporting me in that venture, then we're good.
I love that. I love that. And you've been with FFL for about 9 months now, Landon. And more recently, you've transitioned to doing everything from in-home to telesales.
That's right.
And what made you decide to do, to essentially kind of switch the way you were doing things?
Well, so when I got into the industry in 2017, telesales wasn't even an option, right? So we've been doing in-home for the last 5 years, and that's all I really knew. You know, getting in front of families, sitting with them face to face, that's all I knew. And so once Family First Life started to transition into the telesales side of it, it was something that was interesting to me, because I liked the fact that I was able to serve families outside of my backyard. I was able to serve, I live in Texas, so I was able to serve families that lived in California. I was able to serve families in other states that I didn't live in, so it was really intriguing to me. I didn't hop on it right away just because I was so comfortable with getting in front of people and sitting face to face. But once I did, though, I realized how much flexibility there was, kind of like what you were saying, Heather. Just being able to serve families outside of my backyard. You know, I have a lot of clients in California, I live in Texas, and the fact that I'm able to do everything over the phone, it just allows me to reach more people that are not so close to me. So
I love that. I love that. And that's so true. It basically makes, like, the United States, like, like your backyard,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah, definitely.
you can't complain about leads at that point if you're doing things virtually, whether it's via Zoom or through telesales. You can't use that as an excuse. There's not enough leads here. It's a saturated area, whatever it may be. You literally just get your non-resident license, and it's like the United States has now become.
And most states are so easy to get your non-resident in.
Yeah, you just have to pay
easy.
for it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really easy to do. I actually had a true 100% Eskimo the other day in Alaska. It was awesome. He was the best.
And you were able to get him protected?
Of course I was.
In Alaska. And
Yeah.
wait, where were you?
I was in Texas.
In Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He didn't have that accent. You've got the Boston accent. He had the Eskimo, like, true on accent. It was awesome. It was awesome. So
I love that. And I think one thing I can say about both of you, just because I work so closely with both of you, is you're very disciplined. Your schedules don't necessarily look the same, but you're whatever your schedule is, like, you're disciplined to that. You're disciplined to purchasing leads. Like, you guys know what you need to do to make it happen to get where you want to be. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You guys are going to do it to get to the level that you want to be at.
discipline is extremely important as telesales goes.
100%.
But you're right, our schedule probably doesn't look alike because nobody is alike, right? So I could tell you that I work from, and I have Alaska for a reason, and I have Maine for a reason.
I love that.
There are reasons that you buy your licenses, and you can do that with telesales, and you can work at 0500 in my household is 7 o'clock in the East Coast, or on the East Coast, and too early to call, but I can get up and do some work, and then at 8 o'clock, which is 6 o'clock for me, I can start dialing.
Right.
And then I can go to the gym in the middle of the day. I don't have the luxury or the want to go at 0500. So I can stop, go to the gym, take my kids to whatever we need to do, and then work in the evening because I can still call Alaska.
Yeah, I love that. And that's such a good point to touch on, too. Like, when you're doing telesales, you can literally work from, 8 a.m., 7:30, 8 a.m. Eastern time to 9 p.m. Hawaii time.
Right.
Yeah.
Although Hawaii is very expensive, just so you know, it's $450 for that license.
For the non-resident license? Okay, all right.
It's out of my price range right now.
What does your schedule look like week to week?
For
As far as telesales go, like, what does your day-to-day schedule look like, and what does your lead flow look like?
Do you want to answer or do you want me?
I'm going to have you both answer.
Okay.
Because you both have some of a different schedule.
I'll start. So, I mean, originally when we were doing in-home, my dial days would be Monday and Thursday, run Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. But now that we're doing telesales, we could dial pretty much any day, Monday through Sunday, right? I don't usually work on Sundays. I go to church, but Monday through Saturday, I usually start at about 9 a.m.
Okay.
I don't usually call at 8 a.m. just because people in Texas where I'm at, they get a little upset when I'm calling them at 8 a.m. That's just the people that I'm calling there. But I usually work from, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. If I'm calling California leads and I could work a little bit later, I could work until about 9 or 10 p.m. my time because it's 8 p.m. in California. But with the flexibility of doing telesales, we could dial every single day.
I pretty much do.
That's kind of what we're on. We would dial every day. And as far as lead flow goes, I have a couple counties that I have locked out for direct mail. I spend anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500 a week in direct mail leads is mostly what I'm working right now. I did start with 1 month internet leads, but I found that direct mail leads are a little bit easier. And what I've been doing recently is I've been sending out text messages too. So I'll send over a text message of the picture of the lead, and I have a little script that I use. But direct mail leads though are good because it's something they filled out, and I'm able to send them a picture of it if they forgot or whatever. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I love that, and I love that you're using the text message method because not everyone's doing that, and I know that's really been working for you. Can you kind of walk us through what that looks like for you, like day to day? Because I know you're very intentional with it. Yeah,
definitely. So a lot of days I'll purchase anywhere between 50 to 100 1 month to 3 month final expense CRM leads. So these are direct mail leads. These are forms that folks had filled out and sent back in. And so I'll purchase anywhere between 50 to 100 of them. And usually every morning, it will usually take me a couple hours, but I'll send over a text message and over a script to every single one of them. And a lot of times I'll get some responses, and the ones that I don't get responses, the next day I'll send over another text. And if they don't respond to that, then I'll send over another text on the third day. And if they don't respond by that time, then I'll obviously give them a call. But it's been working out pretty good. Obviously, we still dial because text messages are not going to, that's not going to do the job completely. But
I find that the text messaging helps to, I guess the word is, weed out people who don't want to talk to you for whatever reason. Maybe they accidentally filled it out or somebody else filled it out for them or whatever. They've already got it covered. And for me, that's fine. I don't have there's a lot of people who will take those people and really hash into them and change their policies and do all that. But I am more like, okay, great. I'll take that. But it weeds out that hang up or that whatever by having that initial text message.
And a lot of people don't answer their phone either, though.
Right,
so you can call them 100 times, but they'll never answer the phone.
Yep.
So it's good to send over a text message to those type of people that don't ever answer. So
pick up a couple different types of people.
When a potential client is answering that text message, what does that process look like for you?
So I have different scripts for different responses. Mm-hmm. Every single response that we would ever get, I have a rebuttal to. And so we just go back and forth, and just all I want to do is just open up a conversation, open up some type of dialogue with these folks. Because at the end of the day, the worst thing is when you purchase a lead, you call a lead, they don't answer, you text the lead, they don't answer, and you can never get a hold of them, mm-hmm. and you can't resolve the lead. That's like a nightmare, right? At the end of the day, all we want to do is resolve that lead. If it's a yes mm-hmm. or a no, we just want to make sure we're able to get an answer so we can move on to the next family to help.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lead resolution is key in this business. It is. And I think with doing things virtually, it's so important that you're finding other ways to resolve leads other than just because you can't door knock them, right? And normally that's such a way that we resolve so many leads is just by door knocking. So text messaging, and then like you said, calling, follow-up. Do you guys ever send emails?
I do.
I don't. I haven't done that. That's not something I'm opposed to, but
mm-hmm.
If
there's an email listed, I'll send
with
them
my
an
direct
email.
mail leads, there's not usually an email attached, but with like internet CRM leads, that's definitely something that I would look into.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And so you're focusing more on direct mail,
mm-hmm.
and I know that you also do utilize sometimes like the internet leads and whatnot too.
Absolutely.
Because you've been working those for a while, not to put words in your mouth, but we've had many conversations about internet leads.
Yes, we have.
But you mentioned data a lot, so you're doing more so live transfers.
Right now I've had to because of my life going on with everything happening, so I've had to rely on turning on my live transfers whenever I can. And that's been a life changer, and the ability to just do that is incredible. So Datalot is the company I started with based on somebody, I'm horrible at names, so I apologize to whoever it was, but somebody who I watched, which means cool, I watched you, they had suggested Datalot, and I just bit the bullet and did it, and Paul taught me one thing. Actually, no, he taught me a lot. But
a lot of things.
Paul taught me one thing at the end of our phone conversation about 5 weeks ago was just whenever you're afraid to do something, all you have to do is count backwards from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just press the button. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did with Datalot. And I was like, all right, I'll figure it out. And everybody's like, oh, they're really expensive. But if you actually think, and I'm not good at math. I hate math. My kid's good at math, but I'm not. If you really think about a $90 lead, even if you were to not take 3, 4, 5 of them or didn't get them a policy for whatever reason, maybe they didn't know that what they were calling in for, or whatever the reason might be, you didn't close that lead or sell that lead, you still, that $190 lead that you did, you're still making out financially significantly, right? So I disperse my leads a little differently now because I need those live transfers, mm-hmm. right? So I came up with, and Paul did this for me too, double your lead flow. Well, I quadrupled it. So I went to...
There you go.
I was doing around $500 a week. Sorry, $500 a week. And I was only doing CRM because I was too scared to do anything else. Then I went and said, all right, I'll do 2,000. So I disperse them now where I replenish my Datalot for $1,000 a week. Then I do 500 for happy leads. I love happy agent leads. Have you done happy agent leads?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh. They're really great because they hook right to your Calendly. Mm-hmm. So the person's actually making an appointment with you they whatever the magic is, they book on your Calendly. So I do 500 with them, and then I do 500 of whatever's on sale in the CM.
Okay, so you're utilizing your work spots discount. Okay.
Yes, I'm
I love
those
that.
clearance people. But yeah, whatever is on sale. So I do around essentially 2,000, and I replenish data lot. I do happy agent leads, and I do the leftover 500 in whatever's on sale.
I love that. I love that. And it really comes back to all leads work.
Oh yeah,
Like, that's
there's
it.
There's no wrong.
It's
about
like,
that.
if you talk to any top producer across the nation that's working with Family First Life, they're going to tell you minimally they're spending at least $1,000 a week on leads, upwards more towards $2,000.
But you're making it back so quickly.
Oh yeah, and
That's
especially
what people don't understand. Right?
especially as your skill set grows.
Yeah.
Like your ROI it just keeps increasing. So I love that. I love that. And I love that it looks so different for both of you, even though you're both doing telesales. It just goes back to how it makes it so flexible for no matter what you have going on in your life. Like, there are no excuses. You can make it happen if you want to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? And all right, let's just finish up. We're in July now, so we're more than halfway through
Halfway through.
2022. Tell me about your year-end goals. What are your goals for the second half of 2022, Landon?
My goals changed a little bit throughout the year. There were some things that happened that were in my control, and I could have made some better decisions. But to end out the year, I would like to protect 300 families in total, and just focus more on putting families first, and really serving families and really caring about the families more than caring about myself. That's my goal. Just more personal growth, I think, than anything. So
I love that. And can I just say, just even like these past few months, I've seen you grow as a person so much, and I genuinely mean that. I appreciate working with you, and I love that. And you got 300 families in the bag for sure. Do you know where you're at now? About?
Yeah, I'm a little bit over 100.
Okay.
So I have some work to go. I have some work to do, but yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
for sure.
you got it for sure.
Yeah.
Your skill set
Yeah.
has improved
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much
definitely.
since January. So yeah, you got that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
Thanks.
And what about yourself, Miss Heather?
So I have a kind of an interesting goal. My kids came with me to convention in February.
Yep.
And after we left, he had seen all the red coats, and he was really excited about the red coats. And I was like, I don't know, whatever. And those people work really hard, and they do. But it was a 12-hour trip from, where was it? Florida?
From Miami.
Yeah, from Miami. So we had a lot of time to spend. And so then, anyways, we ended up saying, okay, we've got to get to 400,000 by the end of the year. But life happens. I got sick right after Florida. I was sick for 2 weeks and all this other stuff. So right now, with 6 months left, I don't know if I'll make the 400. But we're trying hard. We're trying hard to get 400 this year. If not, we'll definitely do it next year.
Where are you at now for the year?
Honestly, I keep track of it, but I don't remember. I know that I'm at like 33,000. And as far as how many people I've helped, I don't know. I was doing only one a week. One application a week. That was it. That's all I could do. In April and May, with the conversation with Paul, it skyrocketed to 10. I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
10. So now my average right now with everything else happening in my life was about 8 for the past couple of weeks. So even that was way more than I was doing prior to my conversation with Paul.
I was going to say, and you protecting like 10 plus families a month, that's pretty much just
that was a week.
Okay, a week.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, okay.
I can't even
there
believe
you
that.
go. Okay.
And now if I don't get 2 a day, because I've only been getting like 2 a day, and I'm like, oh, it's not enough people to help.
And that's almost been like you working like part-time. These past few months you've been
right.
part-time just because you've had a lot going on in your personal.
Part-time is like, and even now it's still sporadic. I still have kids. I still have a family. I still have to take care of myself. But things will settle down, and I don't ever see myself. I don't even know the difference between full and part-time. It's just you work when you need to work, right? And you got to make sure you're getting them. In order to have that 400,000 red jacket, he really wants me to get him braces. So I got to work towards those braces.
I love that.
And I just have to do it, and they know I have to do it. I've got to go work, or I've got an appointment, or I've got to call so-and-so, or, hey, can you fill out this paper for me? Like, literally, we just have to do it.
That's it. That's really all it comes down to. Like, attitude and activity is literally everything in this business, and you both got that going for you.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm honored to be in business with both of you. I'm so excited to see what the future holds. And yeah, let's go, let's grow, guys. I'm so excited for the both of you. Thank you both for being here with me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, Paul, in your office. This office is absolutely beautiful. I'm so proud of you. It's a pleasure to be in business with you. I couldn't ask for a better mentor and leader. We appreciate you, Paul, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.